February, and as you know, February includes Valentine's Day, so we thought it would be a fun month to talk about love. So welcome to the Ultimate Love Toolkit series. This episode is Love and Lyrics, and we had a workshop, and it started in typical workshop fashion, but it tends to get away from us because we have fun, and it's a vulnerable, open space that we're talking about music. So I'm just going to take time now to go over what we kind of observed and discovered and explored and learned, and then we'll have challenges for you at the end. So thanks for watching. So as you know, music influences our emotions. I'm sure I could reach out to you and say, hey, what's your hype song, or what's your go-to I'm getting ready song, or what's, we have kind of a song for everything. And that's what makes music so fun. And so Sam and Destiny and I had this conversation with music and what songs jump out to us as like real love songs, and then what songs are maybe more about like infatuation or desperation or obsession, and just kind of uncovering the healthy, unhealthy ways we hear music and maybe how it influences our lives. So when asked what song represents real love, Destiny, Sam, and I came up with some songs, and Destiny's song was "All of Me" by John Legend. I personally liked Bruno Mars' "Just the Way You Are," and then Sam liked "Obvious" by Ariana Grande. And I think what we discovered here was that we're attracted to songs that reflect how we want to be loved in a relationship. And I think it's important to remember love isn't one-sided, so it's kind of like, what am I bringing to the relationship? And if I want somebody to think I'm perfect the way I am, how Bruno Mars is singing it, am I loving somebody unconditionally as well? And what am I bringing to the relationship to make sure that there is balance and kind of equality, and that's not like the partnership's not falling short, or I'm not falling short, or settling for less than I deserve kind of thing. And it can get confusing when we hear words, and so sometimes we want to make sure that our partner is, and we are too, our actions are matching the words that we're saying. After we talked about, these love songs and what they meant to us and how they made us feel, we moved on to what songs represent maybe like infatuation or fantasy, or this idea of being in love with somebody. And it can be like a fine line at times, and it's important not to get it twisted, and to be aware that if we already have a void in us to fill, we're not going to find a partner that's going to fill that void. So like, I know one of the big songs for marriage is like Etta James' "At Last," and the line, I'm going to read it here, is "My lonely days are over." If I think a partner is going to take all my lonely days away, I'm putting way too much expectations on this partner. And I want to be able to know that I'm going to be fine by myself first. If I can be fine by myself and love myself, this partner can complement and enhance my life, but it's not really fair for me to say, oh, my lonely days are over, because somebody's in my life. So we looked at songs that represent kind of lust and infatuation. Destiny, apparently she's a big John Legend fan. She picked "Tonight." Sam picked "Fantasy" by Mariah Carey, oldie but goodie. And then I had picked "Number One Crush" by Garbage. And it's interesting, we took time to kind of like listen to them, because the vibe can let you know the mood that it's trying to set, and it kind of enhances the words, I guess, and what they actually mean. And and so Destiny made up a good point that John Legend hits both sides of the spectrum with like "All of Me" and "Tonight," that it's kind of like Destiny brought it to our attention that "All of Me" kind of talks about the other person, and then "Tonight" is more about like John Legend convincing what he can offer. And it's, if he's saying those words in "Tonight" to the same person in "All of Me," maybe it could be romantic, you know, but it's like, you know, again, Destiny brought up a great point that communication is so poor these days. And like, so we want love, or we may think we want love, and then, but we fall for kind of the sweet talking. And so it's kind of to be able to get through all of that noise. And the only way to get through that noise is to feel good about you and to really know kind of what you're looking for, you know. We listened to the Mariah Carey song, and, you know, it's a cute, fun song, and she's definitely more like crushy, you know, and didn't really, yeah, I don't know, we didn't really think it was like lusty or infatuation. It was kind of cute, like, oh, maybe this is the beginning of a relationship song. And then, you know, the song Garbage I kind of picked for example purposes, but, you know, the opening lines of this Garbage song, Number One Crush, is like, I would die for you, you know. And but we kind of all agreed that we felt that intensity before, and but we know, like, that's not real. Like, if we're feeling that intense, like, I would die for you, like, that's probably not healthy, and there's something going on about ourselves that we, you know, kind of want to change. So love yourself first, and we don't have to get all these other lines twisted. So as we were talking and sharing, and more songs were coming to our attention, the conversation kind of evolved into like identifying what songs we would pick to show the evolution of like a relationship, you know. So like, where are we at, you know, Mariah Carey, for example, we thought like, oh, that is like a cute, like a crush song. And then the next phase, you know, this getting to know you friendship, maybe sharing your feelings with somebody. Destiny thought the Ariana Grande song, The Way, kind of shows like, oh, okay, you know, like, I like you, and we're moving into the next phase. And then from there it kind of gets blurry, because it's like, what comes next? Is it about the sex? Is it love? Is it love and then sex and then marriage? You know? So we did notice though then that like these songs kind of hit the same extremes that relationships are in right now. Like, these relationships are almost like all or nothing, and we kind of skip that middle phase of what's happening. And I always say this, that it's almost like, because that's what's not modeled for us. So we have this crush and fun and infatuation, and then objectifying and sex and raunchy and kind of blurred lines with love, and then maybe marriage. But like, where's the getting to know you? You know, maybe songs aren't the space for that. I'm not knocking songs. I do like love music. We did have a lot of fun with this video, and it was just very thought-provoking, and it definitely inspired a lot of questions. But when it's all said and done, it comes back to our own self-worth. You know, knowing what I deserve, knowing what my values are, knowing what I'm like willing to compromise or not compromise, so that I can stand in, you know, this healthy relationship. And Sam made it a really good point to know that these songs, like, it's important to not let the music we hear influence our expectations. You know, like, don't let these songs tell us how we're like supposed to feel, I guess. So, and one thing too that Destiny brought up, remember, you have a say in what you want. You know, just because somebody's like romanticizing and wooing you, maybe that's not what you want right now, you know. And so it's hard to find that making sure that words are meeting somebody's actions and vice versa, and knowing what you want and not trying to fill a void. There's all these kind of things going on, and it does come back to self-worth. Okay, now for the fun stuff. We do have some challenges for you, based on what we kind of uncovered and discovered and talked about. But we challenge you to find a song that's about loving yourself. I think Demi Lovato probably has some good ones. But if you can't find one, I think it's fun to take your favorite love song and replace those words. So, for example, I had picked the Bruno Mars song. He says, and there's a line that's, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, because you're amazing just the way you are. Now switch that to, when I see my face, there's not a thing that I would change, because I'm amazing just the way I am. So try to switch up words and see how it makes you feel, and remind you that to love yourself first. The second challenge is just listen to the words of your favorite songs. You know, what are the words really saying? And is it love? Is it infatuation? Where are you at and what you're looking for in your life? And like kind of reminding yourself not to get caught up in the hype and staying true to you and your gut of what you're looking for in love. And then number 3 is to, we thought this would be funny, to write a song about a relationship in real life. You know, like describe what really happened, like how you met and that awkward first kiss, and you know, you probably had a first fight, and where's the fun, and then the breakup, you know, because it doesn't go through how these songs are like, oh, I just love you. You know, there is phases that we have to go to. So that's a fun kind of third piece that can just help you see that these songs don't depict actual relationships, and just to remind us what we're looking for in our own actual relationships. So we encourage you to like try these, have fun with them, and tell us about them. You know, and if you're really struggling, I would love to coach you. I like to say that I'm a confidence coach and can help boost your own self-worth and eliminate some of those limiting beliefs you have of where you're struggling in your own relationships and loving yourself. So have fun. See you next time.